Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Omen Exitio, Plague. And we're in Rotterdam now, in Holland, or the Netherlands. The same thing, I think, right? Something like that. I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure. I'm not the best at European geography. I used to be pretty decent at geography, but not so much nowadays. But anyway, the coach driver shouts something to you in a hard Germanic accent, and you look out of the carriage window. You're finally leaving Rotterdam behind, and after a while, you make out the first signs on the outskirts of Delft. It's an L. With the money given to you by the Germans, you have no trouble finding great lodgings near the university. It is a fine building, and you and Reginald are already at the window, scoping the best spots to eat. There are various places on both sides of the canal. Since you're feeling excited as if at the start of some pleasurable holiday, you decide to relax and enjoy the moment rather than dwell on the reality of being caught up in a complex web of intrigue and mysteries. You unpack and organize a few things you brought with you, and while Reginald takes care of the formalities related to your accommodation, you decide to go straight to university to try to see Bajornik. Keep pronouncing that wrong. And I'm sure I'm still pronouncing it wrong, and will continue to. As you leave, you close the door behind you. It does not seem very solid. Great. Sounds like foreshadowing of somebody busting the door in. Then again, most of my foreshadowing so far has been wrong. Having studied a map of Delft, you know that it's pretty straightforward to get to the university from where you are staying. You walk a few streets and soon find yourself at the steps which lead up to the college. I think this is the best way to ask somebody about them. Announcing my arrival to them sounds kind of weird. He shows you to the office of Dr. Martinus Bajornik. You are in such a state of agitation that you feel almost as if you're a teenager about to go on the first date. You knock and enter in the office. Professor Bajornik recognizes you and immediately welcomes you warmly. You mean recognizes me? As soon as I heard your English accent, I knew who you were. What? The professor offers to give you a tour of the college, and you take the opportunity to see the laboratory where you will be working together and exchanging ideas over the following days. Have we already set this up? Have we been sending them letters, or is this like the first time we've talked to him? Because it sounds like we've already set something up. The Bajorink is friendly, but he's clearly avoiding talking about the reason why you're here. Professor Bajorink's quiescence continues to exasperate you over the days to follow. Every morning you make your way to the laboratory where you spend a few hours with him, or alone when he has lectures. You study various diseases and discuss theories together, without ever explicitly discussing that disease. Why not? Okay, I was going to say, just bring it up to him. Every time you bring it up, Bajorink immediately changes the subject. But since it's clear that much of the research that you're doing has many things in common with the African disease, you decide not to force the issue for now. Your time in Delft is fast beginning to follow a routine. Reginald often comes with you to the laboratory, but most of the time he wanders around the city, enjoying his culinary traditions, about which he gives you enthusiastic nightly reports. I like how I joked when we got the money about how many pizzas it would buy. It sounds like that's pretty accurate to what it's being spent on, or some of it. Sometimes you go out with them to eat, but you often have a strange and unpleasant feeling that you're being watched. You're trying a traditional stampot, which Reginald has been ranting about for days. Bajorink is busy at the university, and Reginald is away for a few days visiting The Hague, which is not far away. Once again, you're feeling observed. When you look behind you, there is nothing, or perhaps only a shadow Then you know someone sitting a few tables away dressed very stylishly. He is brazenly staring straight at you. Meyer! Hey, what's up? Move over to where Meyer is sitting. Dr. Huntington, what a pleasure. Will you join me for supper? When seated, a few moments pass in silence. He is measured and calm. He seems to be toying with you. Dr. Huntington, we are satisfied with your decision to collaborate with Bajorink and the steady progress being made. Certain details, however, interest us in particular. He's looking you straight in the eye. His smiling coolness betrays disquieting undertones, and every word seems to contain a veiled threat. We have eyes and ears everywhere, Dr. Huntington, but it is not enough. You need what? Tongues everywhere too? Maybe a finger? You need like a finger sticking out of the wall or something? We require a return on our investment. No final results as yet, rather an update on... Oh, okay. Rather an update on the current state of your research. You feel repugnance at his menacing tone. However, having accepted their money, you can hardly back out now. Okay. A pathogenic agent, smaller than bacterium. The idea is disturbing, but the research that you and Bajorink have been conducting on sick tobacco leaves continues to confirm that this seemingly absurd hypothesis. Bajorink has already chosen a name for it. Virus. It's a virus. Okay, let me look up something real quick. Is this gonna be like actual historic something? Let me Google. Oh no, that's not what it. Dang, stupid phone. I'm terrible at using a phone. I hit the wrong things and... Okay, let me look this. B-E-I-J-E-R... Whoa! Martinus Bajornik. Huh. You actually come up with a... Dutch microbiologist. Martinus William Bajorink was a Dutch microbiologist and botanist. He is often considered one of the founders of virology and environmental microbiology. In spite of his numerous pioneering and seminal contributions to science in general, he was never awarded the Nobel Prize. That's the guy's right there. Interesting. Interesting. We're talking about real people here. Picture looks a bit different. It seems almost more like a machine in the way it reproduces, attacking cells and using them to multiply than biological organism. Many of the anomalous aspects that have troubled you since Zanzibar are beginning to make some sort of sense. Your research has come to a critical phase, and Bajorink is invigorated and beginning to show his emotion for the first time. I think the time has finally come for our discoveries to be made public, Dr. Huntington. The world of medicine will never be the same. Bajorink has started the process of publication, but it will take time for it is verified and peer-reviewed. We decided to use this time for a short break. You have recently been taking long walks around Delft, trying to tally the results of your research with the pathology of the East African disease. Chief among your current concerns is resolving the question of the means of transmission and spread of this so-called virus. So we have Bajorink to blame for computer viruses. And and viral videos. I mentioned in one video kind of recently. I've been watching Always Sunny. I'm caught up with it completely now, but Always Sunny, and there's that. But there's a video where, or an episode where Frank, Danny DeVito, if you don't know who, if you've never seen Always Sunny, they're trying to get like a video to go viral basically to help promote like the pub that they own / work at. But he doesn't realize what it means. He's like, this video's a computer virus. Or this video's a virus. I can't remember if he said it's computer, but he said, this video's a virus. Show it to all your friends. Despite spending time at the epicenter of the disease, you have had no symptoms, or at least of the type you have observed there. Could this mean that this mysterious virus has a different effect on different people? Perhaps a single virus can even give rise to different diseases. As you're wandering near the cathedral, thinking about all these strands of the puzzle, you come across a small boy selling newspapers. Something catches your eye on the front page, so you buy a copy. Says, look, our friend's already in the papers. You only learned a few words and expressions in Dutch, so you can't really understand the article properly, but you do understand that it is an article about your and Bajerink's research. Skimming the article, you see it mentions the university, the professor, and some of his colleagues. There's no trace of your name, however. Interesting. It is certainly puzzling. Why would Bajerink have kept your name out of the reports? What motivation could he have had? It's very strange because you would never have taken him for an opportunist. An optimist. Opportunist, my word, Chuck. Can you read and speak? Then there's the question of Zanzibar. Since the moment you first arrived, the professor has continuously avoided the subject. Despite using ideas and evidences gleaned from your experiences, you haven't once discussed it openly. The colors of Delft soften as the shadows lengthen and evening falls. As you walk back to your lodgings, you reflect on what your next move will be. Entering the apartment, you immediately smell Reginald's cooking. You fall into an armchair and tell your friend that you aren't hungry. Your appetite has been ruined by this discovery. You are mulling over some kind of plausible explanation when there is a knock at the door. Who is it? I'm looking for Dr. Huntington. This guy again. Great. You recognize the voice as Meyer. Reginald turns to look at you questioningly, but you are already on your feet and moving closer to the door. May as well open the door. You open the door to find Meyer's smiling face. He immediately asks if you'd like to accompany him for a drink. Great. They may as well continue trying to be nice to him. And we were trying to do the work, so. Reginald watches you with a look of confusion as you get your things and leave with Meyer. You go together to a nearby pub and he buys you a drink. To, as he says, congratulate you. We are very satisfied with your work so far, Dr. Huntington. Your handling of our investment has proved extremely fruitful. Meyer cuts off your objection with a rapid hand movement. Imagine you are disturbed by the most recent development, and then again, I'd always thought a man like you would be more interested in the results rather than fame. Is that not so? You try to remain impassive as you become aware of how closely he is scrutinizing you. I was actually just thinking that. Bajerink wasn't exactly happy either, but he understood why it was necessary to leave your name out of the press. As I hope you will. The important thing is that you got great results. You have worked for us and have been duly compensated. Meyer is speaking in illusions again. Without saying anything explicitly, his message is perfectly clear. He wants you to leave Delft without seeing or speaking to Bajerink. Meyer leaves, giving you no chance to reply. It seems your German backers gave Bejerink no choice but to leave you out of the publication of your results. Reginald agrees with you. You are left frustrated and angry. Excuse me. Ignore them, old boy. Yes, you will. You will ignore their warning and speak to Bejerink tomorrow. Okay. Opening your eyes, you are immediately filled with determination. Playing Undertale? You're going to confront Dr. Bejerink and find out exactly why he was compelled to do what he did. You have breakfast quickly and consider what you will need to take to assert your position. I mean, he was like, we don't know what kind of, what type of threat he was faced with there. So, I mean, we shouldn't be that pissed off at him. I mean, somewhat, but, not fully, Pick up your briefcase. You are covered by the weight of the paper inside. It contains the only real tangible proof of all the work you have done together and of your relationship with the professor. Clasping it tightly, you leave the flat. Well, okay, now I'm actually paranoid that I shouldn't have brought it. But then again, if I left it, I bet it might be gone if we didn't take it when we got back. But if we take it with us, it might get stolen, so I'm paranoid both ways now. As you're walking to Bejerink's house, you go over and over in your mind the words you will use to explain your position. Although the general idea remains the same, you make some mental edits until you come up with the best possible phrasing for what you want to say. Reaching his house, you pass by 3 young men laughing and joking around on the street outside. They look like 3 friends returning from a night of revelry. Remembering times like those, you smile and feel a little envious. You straighten your coat in front of the door and knock. The butler calls Bejerink. When he comes to the door, his face carries an expression of bewilderment. Good morning. Who are you? What? Yeah. You mean to say you don't know me? Bejerink appears in earnest, even somewhat irate. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm quite sure I've never met you in my life. There must be some misunderstanding. Now, if you please, I'm a very busy man. The butler and another servant approach, and the doctor pushes you lightly towards the door, as if shooing away some kind of annoying insect. You turn your body and try to wedge yourself there before the door can close. You must try and speak with Bejerink. It cannot end like this. Well, we definitely don't want to fight. I feel like the notes are the successful way if we were to fail the other ways. Yeah, let's do the notes. Snatch open the briefcase and thrust your notes in front of Bejerink's face. First, he doesn't want to even look at them. Then you see a glimmer of recognition in his eyes. He thought I would have kept my own copy of the work. I'll be showing these papers to your disciplinary commission. After a few seconds, Bejerink, in an arrogant gesture, pushes the papers aside, away, and with help from his servants, closes the door on your face. You stare at the closed door. You realize that it would be pointless to insist and knock again. If Bejerink has answers, you certainly won't get them through the force. Yet he clearly is hiding something. You recognize in him a fellow seeker of truth, so you know he isn't just in it for the money or its fame. Maybe Bejerink is being controlled by someone, or perhaps you really are losing your mind. Tighten with the briefcase to his chest firmly. No. Here's the tangible and unequivocal evidence that you're not going crazy. Perhaps the only proof that you have left, in fact. You've been walking lost in thought for some time when you suddenly catch a movement in the corner of your eye. Turning, you see the three men you had seen outside Bajarink's house. Is it possible they are following you? Oh, great. Stop at the newspaper stand, pretending to be interested in the papers to gauge their reaction. They also stop nearby, and once you start walking again, they do too. This can be no coincidence. Here's a question. If I didn't have the observation skill as high, would I have seen that? Over the months you've spent working with Bajarink, you've had ample opportunity to get to know your way around Delft. Now you decide to use this knowledge to your advantage. You will try to lose them or else lead them to a place where you can confront them more easily. Oh. Interesting. Well, we don't have a lot of fighting skill, so I guess we should run. There's now no doubt that the three youths are following you, and what's more, they seem to be becoming more daring. They're getting closer by degrees as you walk. You have to do something. You're alone, and there are three of them, so you decide that confrontation is not your best option. Just ahead, there is a narrow alleyway. You take it, pick up your pace to a run, and then turn at the first road that crosses it. You continue taking random turns and accelerating, hoping to lose them, but to no avail. You can hear their footsteps behind you. Now they have started running. It has become a real chase. Let's change the strategy. You start sprinting at full speed, taking larger roads. There are several people walking on the pavement, and you have to dodge and weave around them. You suspect this is slowing you down, and when you take the next turning, glance around to see to your dismay that they are still gaining on you. If you don't do something soon, they will catch up with you. Oh, wow. I've got 112 experience. Didn't realize I had so much. Yeah, let's focus. Let's keep focusing on medicine and speechcraft and observation. And I can still do speechcraft if I need something. If they get, I figure maybe the speechcraft can help if they, maybe I can talk my way out of it. Maybe. So I'm halfway full on observation. Okay. Without slowing down, you scan the area, looking for anything which could help you in your escape. In the middle distance, there's a cafe, and beside the rear entrance, there's a tall stack of crates. As you pass, you tug on one of the crates near the bottom of the stack, making them collapse in all directions and block the alleyway. You know it won't stop them, but it should slow them down for a little. Now that you have succeeded in gaining a little ground on the men chasing you, it's time to think of a strategy for getting away from them definitively. Police, maybe? Yeah, let's go to the police. You wait for the police station, and after a few streets, you see the building rise up before you. Getting closer to it, you turn to see if they're still following. You see them stop, look at each other, and then walk off in different directions. You wait for some time to be certain they're gone, then walk back to your flat. When you finally reach the front door, you're still out of breath. You manage to escape, but you feel far from safe. I was going to say, they probably know, if they're following you, they probably know where you've been staying at. You burst open the door and stride into the flat. Although you immediately feel safer, you lock the door. You lock and bolt the door. This is not the time for complacence. Reginald is startled by your agitation. Jake, what is it? You're scaring me. You get your breath back and reassure your friend. You decide not to tell him for now about the men following you. It would only distract from your current priority, the lack of evidence for your research before the scientific community. And you must decide today where to start. Just got an achievement. I don't think it popped up here, did it? Okay, so that was a risk. Okay, so we could have lost it. But I bet that's what they were trying to get from us. Yeah, I bet so. Map. There's only one way to convince Bergerac to talk. Involve them in a scandal. Local newspapers are always looking for stories like this. Try to convince the scientific community of your reasons. You are confident they will listen to a colleague in need. I don't get them like involved in a scandal. That seems a bit weird. After weighing it up, you determine that the best thing to do is present yourself directly before Delft's scientific and medical community. Thus, you return to the university and meet with the rector, Van Vermeer, who in turn arranges a meeting with the medical board that same afternoon. You're feeling nervous and on edge about presenting your case in front of all these staid and suspicious professors. It takes you back to your student days, although you have the strength of your convictions and accusing attitude of these men makes you feel guilty in some strange sense. You begin recounting your side of the story regarding Bergerac's research, explaining your discoveries in Zanzibar and their role in the subsequent research results of your collaboration. You close with an account of the bizarre encounter with Bergerac after publication of your work. I will say one thing: this part of the game does seem a bit weird. But I don't know. Just seems kind of strange. What's it matter about? If he took all the credit. I mean, that's not good, but Dr. Huntington, these allegations of yours are most serious. Dr. Bergerac, who is not with us here today, denies not only your involvement, but even knowing you. Why exactly would a microbiologist be working with a doctor of this kind of research? Do you have any evidence to support your version of events? Finally, you'll be able to dissolve the cold skepticism which you face. You open your case and start showing them the copies of the notes. Those notes prove nothing, Doctor. With a little specific knowledge and medical competence, you may easily have written them after reading Bergerac's recent article. Moreover, why would our esteemed microbiologist have had the need to contact a local doctor? Now the professors are beginning to mutter amongst themselves in consternation, and you're left speechless. You didn't expect the authenticity of your notes to be challenged. It is clear that you, in some way, led them to this doubt, but maybe you can still convince some of them. Can I do anything with speechcraft? I can. Okay, good. Please, gentlemen, we're all scientists here. Instead of making assumptions, I would like you to examine well the empirical evidence. Please take a good look at these notes before drawing your conclusions. One of the professors nearest to you takes the papers you're holding out, looks at them carefully before passing them to Van Vermeer. These papers may have been procured in various ways. You could even have stolen them for all we know. This is not tantamount to proof of your testimony. Okay, so I guess this guy is going to be important. Van Vermeer's decisive influence on this assembly leaves little room for doubt. It is clear that you're not going to succeed, but you were at least able to plant a seed of uncertainty in the mind of the first professor, who saw your notes, and he regards you now with a look of silent comprehension. So, wait, or was that somebody else? No, that was Vermeer. You decide to leave these pompous fools and head to the laboratory. You arrive at the laboratory. Nobody is currently using it, and so the door is locked. You try without success to force it open. On closer inspection, it seems that the door has been reinforced following a recent break-in. But you'll not be deterred so easily. Let's try to do the most legal way. Let's go talk to this professor. You retrace yourselves back along the corridor until you come to where the professors are still milling around the entrance to the hall. You spot the professor, who at least gave you the benefit of the doubt. Waiting until he's alone, you go up to him and tell him you need to get into the laboratory. After a moment's hesitation, he leads you to his office, where he gives you the copy of his keys. Wow. That was easy. Getting to the laboratory door, you check that no one is watching, slip the key in the lock, and enter. Looking around, something gives you a strange sensation. Okay, good. I didn't think to check to see. No, we can't level up again. We need 50 for observation, but we still got a good bit of experience. Been getting a lot of experience lately, which I guess makes sense. The further on into the game you get, the more, I guess, the more higher levels you need, you know. You know that the laboratory has been closed since you and Beijering finished your research and he began writing up your results. Yet all around you there are unmistakable signs that the laboratory is still in use. On closer investigation, you notice that the test tubes contain more or less the same samples and chemicals that you had been using. Someone is carrying on your research. You know that it can't be Beijering, busy as he has been with the publication, nor any of the laboratory technicians who were long reassigned to other senior researchers. You cannot comprehend who is using your research, nor why. You can feel your ire rising once again. You have been cheated out of months of arduous work, and your results have been appropriated. Maybe you should stop them. Yeah, I don't want to destroy the thing, you know, because I mean we're doing medical stuff, medical research, you know. This could help people, you know. Suddenly there is a noise behind you. Someone has noticed your presence. Two large burly men, perhaps from the campus security, grab you and unceremoniously throw you out the main entrance. The rector is waiting for you there. Dr. Huntington, I must inform you that if you ever dare to show your face here again, you will not even be able to set a foot inside. Great. You're walking right away from the university without turning once. You know full well that your connection with this place is over forever. You must think of an alternative strategy. Okay. I will definitely admit that this part of the game is seeming less interesting to me. The adventures in Africa, you know, and stuff, that was way more interesting than this part of it. But I mean, I'll keep playing it, and you know, because I'm sure it'll get into, you know, some more interesting parts. I mean, this has got to be setting up for something, you know. Just not sure what it is. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I do sincerely hope you all enjoyed. Like the video and let me know what you think. And subscribe if you haven't. And yeah. See you next episode. Later there, folks.